Welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 battle report here at Slider Games. I want to start this video off by saying thank you to everybody who has subscribed, supported, viewed the channel, liked anything, commented. This video will come out and it will be just over a year since we got started at Slider Games. We're approaching, as of shooting this video, 800 subscribers. So again, thank you for your support. Definitely feel free to subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff to get the word out if you're enjoying the channel. But on to the battle report. Today we've got 1,300 points, T'au versus Ultramarines. We are playing Tempest of War because it is my favorite way to play now. What we have going on, our primary objective, take and hold. That's the basic one. If you control one objective, you get 5 points. 2 or more objectives, 5 more points. And if you control more than your opponent, you get an additional 5. We've got 5 objectives here at the trees in this crater, right near the center of the battlefield in the crater. Pipes, and then back here behind these trees is our last one. And our deployment is an interesting one. It's called Crucible of Battle. So we have these diagonal corner deployments. And then finally, supply lines. You have to control your home objective in order to get the free CP at the beginning of each battle round. So I am controlling my custom T'au Sept Sonars and in control of the Ultramarines. JR, welcome back.
Yes.
It's been a while. It's good to have you back.
Nice to be back.
Excellent. And our last game was as close as it could get.
Yes, down to the wire.
Yes, we actually tied. It's my only draw of 9th edition. It was an excellent game. The Ultramarines. Your Ultramarines are amazingly painted.
Thank you.
I love them. I can't express enough how much I actually think they're amazing looking. I've never attempted to take on the trial of painting an official, sept or chapter. I'm like, I don't want to mess with that and like screw it up. So I also just like the fact that I can make my own. But
Absolutely.
And we've got some characters, some named guys. Calgar's here today. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm excited. Hopefully you're excited.
Oh, yes.
All right. Let's take a look at the armies. This is 1,299 points of Sonar Sept, my custom T'au Sept. We do follow this T'au Sept tenets, so we get to reroll a hit or wound roll every time we attack, and our auras and abilities get a +3 inch. Up front here we have our 2 HQs. On the right is our Warlord Commander Brave Stand. He's got 3 missile pods, a plasma rifle, and 2 gun drones. Warlord trait Master of the Koyon, so that's a pre-game redeployment. Next to him is our Cadre Fireblade with 2 marker drones. He also has our Relic Ortuz Lantern, so he gets to fire 6 shots with his marker light instead of just 1. Behind him, we've got 3 squads of 10 Fire Warriors, no drones accompanying them today. We're only 10 drones and no shield drones in the army today. Behind them, we've got 2 units of stealth suits with fusion blasters on the Shah's Rays. They each have 2 gun drones accompanying them. Over here is our Pathfinder team, 2 gun drones with them. They will be our marker light support. Behind them is our Riptide. He has the heavy burst cannon with an early warning override, so 5's a hit and overwatch, a multi-tracker, and a target lock. The multi-tracker won't come into play. Target lock ignores cover saves. Our 3rd HQ is Long Strike, or in our army just a tank ace. He does have the rail rifle, and so yeah, ignoring invulnerable saves, much damage, very destructive. And then finally a Devilfish. Both the Devilfish and Long Strike have smart missiles, as well as the Riptide for some additional fire support. But that is our army, 1,299 points of Sonars. This is exactly 1,300 points of the Ultramarines. What do we got?
So yes, I am running them as the actual Ultramarines. In my troop slots, I have 2 intercessor squads. They are equipped with auto bolt rifles for the purposes of today's outing. The sergeants have grenade launchers and chainswords. The other squad is here in the back of the intercessors. We've got the infiltrators as a good utility troops option. I've been really impressed with them all in 9th edition. The Helix Gauntlet pays for itself every game.
Yeah, it's really good.
I am also very fond of the Eliminators with their sniper bolt rifles. I really feel like in any game where you have key characters that they can take out, they really shine.
Yep.
The Redemptor Dreadnought I have here is basically the easy build one. I have statted him with the rocket pod for today, but otherwise he is armed with the dual Gatlings and the assault launchers. He's performed very well for me, and the Redemptor's just a solid chassis.
Oh, yeah.
Coming over here to the other heavy support, we have the Vindicator Laser Destroyer, a model that I tried to get from Forge World, and it was sold out, so I found a way to print my own. So this is a...
Yeah, it turned out very well.
Yeah, I printed this on an FDM printer, not a resin, so I mean there are some layer lines in places, but I'm really pleased with the performance. And then we get to our core HQ and no slot necessary. We have Calgar himself as the Warlord. He is accompanied by his 2 Victrix Honor Guard to keep him safe from enemy fire. Supporting him, we have Chief Librarian Tigurius of the Ultramarines. Really one of the more effective psychers in the Ultramarines, or even in the Space Marines generally.
Yeah.
And then a Primaris Tech Marine. Since I'm running 2 vehicles, he has some options about how to buff. And I have upgraded him to Master of the Forge, so instead of restoring 1d3 hull points, he can do just a flat 3.
Yep.
So he's extra good at repairs.
Very
he
nice.
is also carrying a Warlord trait and a relic. In addition to Calgar having his standard, we have the Storm of Fire, which gives bonus AP on any wound rolls of 6 to units nearby. And he is carrying the Seal of Oath relic.
Very nice. They look amazing. Love it. Can't wait to shoot them off the battlefield. That is the Ultramarines. Let's take a look at deployment. Deployment has concluded for this battle report. Over here, everything is on the board actually for both teams, for both armies. I do have a squad of Fire Warriors in the Devilfish, which is up here right at the edge of my deployment zone. Then I've got a stealth team forward deployed behind this little hill here, so maybe they can jump up onto that objective at some point. Other stealth team forward deployed just a few inches again behind some line of sight blocking terrain. And then over here we've got Pathfinders behind the trees, the Riptide, Fire Warrior Squad, and Commander Bravestand. I wanted to get Bravestand hidden from those snipers, so that's why he's way out here on the flank. Behind them we've got our tank ace eyeing up some heavy stuff down on the end, and then in the back we have our Cadre Fireblade and the other Fire Warriors holding our home objective. Definitely need to keep that secured for the command points. What's the idea over here with the Ultramarines?
Well, I always like to stick the infiltrators far forward. Their relative durability and strategy access makes them good to soak up some initial fire. Usually I like to find a high place with some cover for the snipers, but most of the high places here are not covered.
Yes,
so
just open hills.
preferred a forward position with cover. We have a little group to push forward here towards the objectives. Calgar and Tigurius are both fairly durable. We've got an intercessor squad to support them as needed. We have a home defense intercessor squad, and then my vehicle fire base that I'm trying to keep out of the way of that railgun.
First turn is going to be interesting for either this thing attacking my tank or my tank attacking it. So that will be definitely a factor to consider. Now, we both have options to redeploy, actually. After first turn is decided, I have my Warlord trait, Master of the Koyan, and then...
Ultramarines have a stratagem, rapid redeployment.
So, yes, so either one of us, depending on how this roll goes, can move some stuff after this. But this is matched play, so when we roll off, the winner must go first. So if you are ready, sir, I've got a die in hand. We can roll to see who will have the first turn.
All right.
I'll let you roll first since you're the guest.
I've got a 4.
4. And I've got a 3. So it is the Ultramarines going first.
All right.
We'll come back with some redeployment shenanigans. Calgar has issued his commands to the Ultramarines. Grind them down. Kill more than the T'au can kill. Assassination. Snipers need to take out my Warlord or any other character. And then attempting target. I have selected the objective closest to my deployment zone that's in no man's land, forcing the Ultramarines to have to choose where to move. Let's take a look at movement phase. Ultramarines movement is completed. I'll go ahead and note I did shift my tank ace back here to get him out of the range of the tank. The reason that was a tough decision for me is because the snipers got shifted for the stratagem the Ultramarines used, which put my commander in danger. So I was really debating whether to hide my commander Brave Stand or the tank ace. I decided I needed to keep him alive. He was a real threat to be killed. It's unlikely that Brave Stand will die from the snipers, but he will probably be injured. His drones almost certainly will be eliminated. So with that noted, also I did select Montcalm, even though Bravestand is exemplar of the Koyan. We are going second, and he decided we need to just jump out there and get these guys taken care of, that we can't afford to lose any more of the initiative. I also did shift the Pathfinders with their pregame move, getting them some cover here from hopefully fire coming down from the middle of the battlefield. The other two things you moved, the Dreadnought and the tank shifted a little bit.
Yes, basically to put them as far forward as possible to get them into firing range all the more quickly.
Yes, exactly. And if I wouldn't have moved the tank, the what's this thing called? Vindicator.
The Vindicator Laser Destroyer.
Vindicator Laser Destroyer would have been able to shoot him. So now it's got a Riptide to shoot at, though. But otherwise, yes. So what's the idea here with the Ultramarines?
So yeah, I'm pushing forward to try and take out as much heavy firepower as possible. With my Seal of Oath relic, I got to choose one target that I can really bring the hammer down on. Ultimately, I went with the Riptide.
Yeah.
Because the Riptide just does more general damage to my army. That railgun is nasty, but once the two vehicles are gone, that railgun loses a lot of its punch.
Yes, exactly.
So that was my thinking there. We are just generally pushing forward. Shifted the snipers to put some pressure on the commander. Marnius Calgar and his guard are coming up to guard this objective.
Yeah, they did advance.
Yes.
The guards only rolled a 1 though, so
Yes.
it wasn't a huge advance. But yeah, and Tigurius shifted this way.
Tigurius shifted this way to help buff up this fire base as much as possible.
And he did issue the -1 to hit on the guard over here with Calgar.
The Victrix Guard have -1 to be hit,
Yeah.
in addition to any benefits from cover that they
Very
might
cool.
enjoy.
And last to note, this is the target of opportunity that I have selected for the Ultramarines to get. And this front guy is within range, so they will score at least 5 points for his secondaries in Battle Round 1. But do you know what you want to do with your Psychic phase?
Yes, so Tigurius is going to cast 2 psychic powers. He is going to first try to invoke Psychic Fortress to generate a 5-up invulnerable save, which is nice. Not as nice as it used to be. Armor of Contempt really devalued invulnerable saves a little bit. But a 6-inch bubble of invulnerable saves is never not a nice thing to have. Furthermore, he is then going to try to do Might of Heroes to buff up the Dreadnought.
Okay.
I don't have any targets close range for him to potentially charge, but that extra point of toughness could come in handy if you were to target the Dreadnought with the railgun.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, that's basically it. We'll start with the Psychic Fortress.
Okay.
It has a warp charge value of 6. He has a +1 to cast and gets a free reroll.
It's a reroll, yeah.
He will successfully cast.
With an 8, technically. So
Yes.
invulnerable save is pushed out.
Yes, 6-inch
Around
bubble of a 5-up invul.
Very good.
And then Might of Heroes targeting the Dreadnought, which will add 1 to its strength, toughness, and attacks. And this one is warp charge 6 as well. So I need 5 on the dice, and that is a 7.
That's a 7, yeah. The Eagle is a 6. Is that a Blood Angel?
It is a Blood Angel dice,
Nice.
my first army.
Very, very cool. All right, so the psychic powers have succeeded. Let's go on to shooting. Kicking off the shooting phase, the Vindicator Laser Destroyer is going to fire down into the Riptide. He did fire his Stormbolters into the stealth team. Nothing happened. We will also note the Techmarine awakened his Machine Spirit, so he is +1 to hit. So these are hitting on 2s into the Riptide down there.
Yes. So.
They all hit.
All hits.
Okay, and strength.
Strength is 10.
10, toughness 7, so 3s to wound.
3s to wound.
That is
All wounds.
3 wounds. I have 3 4-up invulnerable saves to
Yes,
make.
they're all on invulns.
Yeah. And I fail 1. How much damage is it?
Flat 6.
Flat 6. I'm going to go ahead and spend a command point. I think
Okay.
it's worth trying to save 6 wounds. Okay, I got
Absolutely.
it. So we have saved the 6 wounds. Let's see what the Ultramarines do next. The Riptide is the target again of a heavy onslaught Gatling cannon from the Dreadnought. We will note his small arms went into the stealth team, killed one drone, but now for the big stuff into the Riptide, and these get full rerolls because of your
Seal of Oath.
Seal of Oath, that's what it's called, yep.
Yes. So we've got 12 shots, hitting on 3s, with full rerolls to hit.
Let's see the rerolls. After rerolls, it was 11 hits, but we need 5s to wound here.
With full reroll.
Oh, that was pretty good, actually. After rerolls, 1 more wound got through, so that's 5 wounds. This is going to be a 4-up save. I failed 1, so 1 damage on the Riptide. Picking up with the snipers, we did have some small arms coming in from the middle. 2 of the fire warriors over here got killed, but the snipers now spent a command point on Sons of Gilliman. They mean to take out Brave Stand, so they get to reroll 1s with this stratagem.
They hit on 2s to begin with. Mm-hmm. So hopefully hitting.
There's so glad I spent that. 1s, yes. All right. Definitely worth the command point at this point. All right, there you go.
Absolutely.
And you did, I don't know if we mentioned, spent 2 command points on them earlier so that they can move and...
They count as being in all three doctrines. So they get the Devastator Doctrine bonus to AP, but they also could move with the Ultramarine Super Doctrine
and
without being penalized.
Not penalized, yep. Okay, so all 3 hits. Looking for 6s here on these wound rolls.
Fishing for 6s. No 6s.
No 6s. 2 1s. Do you want to re-roll 1?
I will absolutely spend a command point to re-roll 1 of those. These. And still do not get a wound.
Still don't get a wound. Okay, so 1 wound. AP. This is going on a drone. What's the AP?
Since AP is -3.
Okay, with the Devastator Doctrine, 1 drone just blows up. With those sniper shots, that is the end of Battle Round 1 for the Ultramarines. They do score 5 points for attempting target, securing this objective over here with the snipers. And I will mention they are in a good spot, though, for the primaries in the next round because they're on 3 objectives currently. The guard over here is within 3. We've got these guys on the middle objective and then the snipers over here. So the T'au definitely have some things they need to try to shift if they don't want the Ultramarines to get a big lead with the primaries. Let's go to T'au, turn 1. Brave Stand has issued his commands. Deploy Teleport Homer. We need to be wholly within the enemy deployment zone. Perform an action. Then we got Capture Enemy Outpost. Secure the enemy's home objective, which with nothing in reserve, that's going to be super hard. So I paid a command point to ditch that and drew Battlefield Supremacy. So I need to control 3 objectives on the battlefield. And then finally, no prisoners. Kill 30 wounds worth of Ultramarines models. Let's see the movement. Movement and marker light firing has concluded for T'au Sept Sunars. We are in Montcalm, so everything basically advanced that could. Not everything moved the full distance. I rolled a big 6 actually on the Devilfish. I didn't shift him all the way. This way he is... It would be a challenging charge if these guys wanted to come down on him, but that does put me in a good position to get over to this objective eventually. Rolled a 1 with the stealth team, so they just jumped up on top of the hill with some good firing options. Pathfinders shifted around the trees to get their marker lights in range. Long Strike, or our tank ace in this case, just shifted forward a little bit, so all of his guns are in range. Back here, Cadre Fireblade didn't move, so he could fire Ortu's Lantern. The Fire Warriors shifted up, so they're all around the tree and able to fire at stuff. Riptide shifted over, along with everything over here kind of shifting around. Stealth Team shifted up, and the Fire Warriors to get in close to this objective. All 3 of the Stealth Team units are within range of that objective. And then Brave Stand followed in behind to get a little bit of cover and protection from the group there. And then marker lights went out. I went a little crazy and spread them out all over the place. But we ended up with 4 on the team here in the middle, 1 on the Intercessors, 3 on the Vindicator, 1 on the Dreadnought, and 2 on the... What are these guys called?
Eliminators.
Eliminators, yes, the snipers. But that is where we're set up. After marker lights have been fired, we'll come back with some shooting. We started the shooting with our tank ace, and some stratagems have been spent. Transhuman on these guys here in the middle. What are these guys called again?
Those are infiltrators.
Infiltrators. I went ahead and already shot all of my smart missiles into them. The Helix Gauntlet, I called it a Felix Gauntlet off camera, and, hilarity ensued. But the Helix Gauntlet triggered, and 1 wound did go through. So there's a guy injured down there. And then Smokescreen on the Vindicator, so -1 to hit on him. So I would be at 3s, +1 for the marker light. but -1 for that. So we're hitting on 3s again. I have not spent any of my re-rolls. So we hit on a 4, that hits. And then it will be a 2 to wound because he, as a tank ace, gets +1 to wound vehicles. So that is a wound. It ignores the invulnerable save.
Yes.
So I'm doing D6. I'm doing 6 plus D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. So on anything but a 1 or 2 on this D3 will blow the tank up. And that's a 1. So I'm going to spend a command point to reroll my damage roll. Okay, so that does take the tank out.
Well, I will spend
Ooh.
Armor of Contempt to get a feel no pain against the 3 mortal wounds.
Okay, very good. So he's taken 12, since this is 3, so D3 plus 6 is 9, plus the 3 mortal, so 2 saves here with Armor of Contempt.
Yes, 2 5s.
You got 2 6s. So the tank is alive on 1 wound. Whew, very nice. Well played, sir. The tank ace railgun shot glanced in, but I'm saying the tech marines back here like frantically, he's seeing the sparks and smoke and he's like, just cap something real quick before the whole thing explodes, sparing it for another round. All right, let's see what's next. We are back with the Riptide firing in. He's firing everything into the infiltrators here in the center. I already fired the smart missiles. No damage was done trying to pick off that last guy on a wound. But I overcharged. We've got 18 shots coming in, hitting on 3s. I have not spent my reroll yet. That was 10 hits after the reroll. We need 4s to wound because of transhuman. Okay, that was better. So we got 7 wounds at AP -2 with Armor of Contempt and being in cover. Oh, I'm sorry. He ignores cover because of his target lock upgrade. So these are 4-up saves for you. And so yeah, 7 4-up saves. Each fail is a dead Marine.
All right, so that's going to wipe the squad.
That is, yeah, with the 4-up, yeah, that's 5.
I have not re-rolled this phase, but
there's a lot more coming if you want to save 1.
Yeah, I think I will take the chance on a reroll.
Okay.
Just because it
will
forces you to put more firepower in there.
That's a save. Okay, there is 1 left with 2 wounds. We have advanced significantly through the shooting phase. Do some recaps. You can see the eliminators. I'm sorry. Yeah, they got killed. I spent a command point on coordinated engagement between the stealth team and this group of fire warriors. They fired in, took them out. Back here, I spent a command point on Relentless Fusillade, so they had full fire into the middle. They actually didn't do any damage over here, but between this stealth team, the Pathfinders, they did manage to remove the infiltrators here in the center. Now, we are at our last thing. Commander Bravestand is firing everything into the Vindicator to try to get rid of it. We're going to go ahead. It does tick off a marker light technically. You still have smoke screen, so it would go from a 2 to a 3 with smoke screen back down to a 2 because of the marker light. So we're hitting on a 2 here, firing our plasma rifle first. That does hit, and it is strength 8, so it does wound on a 4. I'll roll that with T'au Sept. Does not wound. Okay, it's up to the missiles. We've got 6 shots with the missile pods hitting on 2s. They all hit. These are strength 7, so wounding on 5s. That is 2 wounds, AP -2. So AP -1 because of Armor Contempt.
Yes, and they hit on 2s?
Yes.
Even with smoke screen?
Yeah, so ballistics heal 2.
Yeah.
So with the marker light, everything's still on 2s.
Okay. How many wounds? 3?
2. 2 got through.
2, 5 up?
5. Failed them both. Okay, so that does destroy the Vindicator. Does it explode? It does not explode. Okay, so the missiles crack in, penetrating the armor. The Tech Marine just couldn't repair it fast enough, and it collapses and stalls there. So with that, that is the end of T'au turn 1. That is the conclusion of turn 1. I don't think I mentioned it, but the Devilfish actually fired in to the guards, and these guys took a wound off this squad, actually. No damage done to the guards, but at the conclusion of battle round 1, it is 5 points To the Ultramarines, 0 points to the T'au. I killed 27 wounds, so I need to get 3 more wounds to get my secondary objective for killing stuff. And I'm only on 2 objectives, so I do not get battlefield supremacy. But we will go on to battle round 2 for the Ultramarines. Calgar's new orders are here. He still wants Brave Stand or the Tank Ace to be destroyed for assassination. Blood and Guts. He wants the guys to get into combat and start crushing these Xenos. And then finally, Storm Hostile Objective. They need to control an objective that was controlled by the T'au at the beginning of the phase. Let's go into movement. Movement has concluded for the Ultramarines. We'll note they got 10 points for primaries at the beginning of the turn. They held the objective back here with the guards, and then the Intercessor Squad in the back held their home objective. So a couple command points were spent. Also, Orbital Bombardment, that little die right there. So there's going to be a explosion, huge explosion over here by this objective shortly, next command phase. And then Wisdom of the Ancients on the Dreadnought to reroll 1s to wound. But yeah, looks like the Intercessors and Tigerius shifted up as well as the Dreadnought moving in. This is the objective they would need to take to get Storm Hostile objectives. And then Calgar and the guards shifted up onto that pipe, holding that objective still. So that is the movement. Do you know what you want to do with your psychic phase?
That is the question.
Yes.
Still considering my options.
All right, we'll come back with some psychic.
So I'm looking for Warp Charge 6. I've got a +1 and a free reroll. And
that is
payroll roll?
Yeah. So that
Good.
works. Psychic Fortress is off. So 5 up. Yeah, 5 up invulnerable, but save.
5 up invulnerable.
And then
we are
smiting the stealth team just slightly closer.
And
That is it. That works.
that will go
so
off.
D3 mortal wounds on the stealth team.
Technically, I could use my reroll and try and push for a super smite, but I am not going to get greedy.
All right.
So D3. So one
one.
mortal
So
wound.
the drone will be destroyed. Let's go into shooting phase. Calgar is kicking off the shooting phase himself. He's showing these other guys how it's done. He's firing everything into the Pathfinders down here. So 8 shots hitting on 2s.
All
That's good. And then these will be 3s to wound.
3s to win. Oof.
Less good, as that is only 3.
Yes, 3 wounds.
AP
at
minus-
AP -2.
-2. So we'll try to take 2 on the drones. There's 6 up saves. The drones are dead, and then 1 Pathfinder will die because -2. They don't get a save. Shifting over now, the Tech Marine, Master of the Forge actually, he's going to fire in at the stealth team. So he'll hit on 3s with their stealth field technology.
Yes, so 3 shots hitting on 3s. 2 hits.
2 hits.
It is strength 5.
So wounding on a 3.
Wounding on 3s.
So
One
one
wound.
wound. It's AP -2. They
AP
get
-2.
+2 actually for being behind that. So this is still a 3 up save, but a fail save kills 1. They make it. Okay.
All right.
Stealth team is safe. Dreadnought is next. He already fired his Fragstorm grenade launchers, killed 2 of the Fire Warriors. Everything else from him into the Riptide. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s to wound,
Yes.
rerolling actually everything against the Riptide because of the...
rerolling everything against the Riptide.
Yep. What gun would you like to start with?
Let's start with the little gun, the
Okay.
regular Onslaught Gatling Cannon. That is heavy 8.
Nice.
So yeah, we're looking for 2s with full rerolls.
There's 1-1 to reroll.
All right.
It does convert, so that's
8
8
hits.
hits.
This is strength 5, so I'm moving on 5.
Yep. But you reroll everything.
And
I see
rerolling
3
everything.
6s. That's yeah, that was real good.
And
Okay, so 5.
5 at -1.
So 5. 3 ups actually is a 2 up base save. And I fail one of those.
Single damage.
Single damage. All right, we'll take that down to 12.
All right. Next, we will go with the Icarus Rocket Pod. This is D3 shots, so we have 3
3
shots.
shots. Nice.
Hitting on 2s. Rerolling
That one.
misses. So
All hits.
This one is strength 7.
So 4s to wound.
4 is to wound with full rerolls. Don't
Okay,
need
3
them.
wounds.
AP -1. These
Okay.
are 2 damage piece.
3 ups. I fail 1, and then how much damage is the last gun you have to fire?
It's single damage.
Okay, I'm gonna, I'll spend a command point. I need a 3. And I got it. Okay.
So you've spent your command point for turn 2?
Yes.
Or for top
Shooting
turn two.
phase, yes.
Yes, shooting phase, turn 2.
And then last gun. This is the lot of shots gun.
Yes, this one is 12 shots. Let me make sure I got the count right. Hitting on 2s, rerolling misses.
1 to reroll. They all
All
hit.
hit. And this one's strength 6, so
5s again.
Rerolling failure. And
Rerolls.
let me just pull out the one success.
Okay, yeah. Rerolls, yeah. That's useful this time.
And that adds at least 2 more.
3 more. So
yeah.
4.
So 4 at AP -1.
Okay, so 4 3s. Okay, fail 1, so 1 more damage. Down to 11 wounds left on the Riptide. Shooting phase has concluded for the Ultramarines. The Intercessors fired everything in, took another wound off of the Riptide. It's down to 10 wounds. We are in the charge phase. The Dreadnought is going to try to charge the stealth team. He needs a 10-inch charge because of the pipes. I'm not firing Overwatch. That is an 8.
I could elect to re-roll that, but that is a long shot. On the other hand, having that charge would be very powerful, so
Yes.
I think I will spin the command point.
There we go.
Might as well gamble.
Going for the glory.
And
that is a 9.
One short.
Just out. Okay, so the Ultramarines failed the charge. Shooting phase is over, so we will go into T'au turn 2. Brave Stan's orders are here. I ditched deployed teleport homers. It's just I'm not sure I'm going to actually ever be wholly within his battlefield or his deployment zone. So we still have battlefield supremacy. I think I can get to that one. No prisoners. I need to kill 3 more wounds worth of models. And then a tempting target. He has selected the objective that Calgar is standing on. So risky business for that one. Let's take a look at movement. Movement is concluded for T'au Sept. And we did take a bit of a suicide mission. I advanced the Devilfish up, spent a command point on combat disembarkation. So I do have a few Fire Warriors within range of that objective. So that will score me battlefield supremacy at the end of the turn and a tempting target because I will be on 3 objectives with that one, this one over here, and this one back in my home deployment zone. So with that being said, I did also fire all my marker lights. We've got 3 on the Dreadnought, 4 on the Intercessor squad, and I went ahead and put 2 on Tigurius in case I'm able to eliminate both of those. If I have any units left, I might be able to plank off a few wounds there. But basically everything has shifted forward a little bit. The stealth team came up trying to hopefully get on that objective eventually. These guys over here, the stealth team shifted out of the 3-inch aura of the orbital bombardment. They still are within 6 inches, but I do have my Shazray within range of that objective. So if the Fire Warriors, who only rolled a 1 on their advance, get eliminated with that bombardment, I will have at least 1 model sitting on it. And the Riptide and Brave Stand shifted over as well. Our idea here is we got to take out this Dreadnought and those Intercessors this turn. So everything is kind of shifting to accommodate that. Finally in the back, our tank ace shifted up to get a little bit better firing lines and to bring his smart missiles into range. And the Fire Warriors shifted forward just a little bit to get some better lines of fire on the Intercessors. But that is movement for T'au Sept. Let's go to shooting. The Riptide is initiating our shooting phase. I've already fired his smart missiles in because there was 1 Intercessor on 1 wound. Transhuman was spent. I did end up actually killing that guy with 1 wound with the smart missiles, but now we have overcharged the burst cannon and it is firing in, hitting on 3s with the marker lights. Several ones. I'll reroll one of these with T'au Sept. Okay, let's see what we got. That was 11 hits after the reroll. We have 4 to wound because of transhuman. So that was 8 wounds, actually. Pretty good wounding there by the Riptide. And these are going to be 3-up saves because of Armor of Contempt and cover.
Alright, so we've got enough failures
4,
to wipe
so that
the
will
squad,
wipe the squad. Do you want to command point 1?
Absolutely.
This came in clutch last time, actually.
So we'll reroll one of these.
Need a 3. And it
Save
works. Okay, so there's 1 Marine left. Moving along in the shooting phase, I did have my Pathfinders fire into this last Marine. No damage done. I went ahead and next, this stealth team, they're splitting fire. I fired my fusion. I have hit and wounded on the Dreadnought, so we have a save to make here.
6 or higher.
6 up.
Not
it
quite.
does fail. So it's D6 damage minus 1 because you're a Dreadnought.
Yep.
So 5 damage. Very nice shot. with that, and we'll go on to some more shooting. More shooting was completed. I spent a command point on Relentless Fusillade with these guys again. They fired in. They did kill that last intercessor, but just barely. Coming back now to our tank ace, he's going to split fire. The railgun's going into the dreadnought. Smart missiles are going into these guards over here, actually. So we'll start with the railgun, hitting on a 2 because of -1. So it actually would be a 3 because he does have the -1 to hit buff. So his base ballistics goes 3. So this comes back to a 3 even with the marker light. It does hit. And then it will wound on a 2 because he's a vehicle. And it does wound with a 2. Do you want to spend Armor of Contempt?
Let me check the wording on Armor of Contempt. Yes, so I will take the mortal wound.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay, so spinning that. So it's D3 for 1 plus 6 is 7 plus the 3 minus 1. Yeah, so 6 wounds.
Yeah.
So it's a total of 9. You have 8 left. Again, if you can make 2 5-ups,
yes,
he will survive this.
Will history repeat itself?
You make 1 5-up.
Oh, but I have to roll for all 3.
Oh, yeah, all 3, yeah.
No.
Okay, so he gets him. Does he explode? Do dreadnoughts explode?
They do explode potentially, so let's see.
He does not explode. Okay, so we take out the dread with the railgun. Tigurius has been exposed with the destruction of the dreadnought. I spent another command point on coordinated engagement with my fire warriors in this stealth team. The fire warriors have already shot in at him. They did 1 wound to him. So now it's up to my stealth team to fire in. The drones actually won't get to shoot because with this stratagem, everything in the units have to fire at this, but the drones also have to fire at the closest unit, which is technically those guys. So we're saying they can't shoot. But we'll start with the Fusion Blaster. It hits on a 3 because of the marker light. It does hit. Strength 8, toughness 4, so a 2. It does wound. AP -5 actually with the stratagem.
So
but
no save?
Invulnerable save.
Oh yes, the invulnerable save. No save.
No save. So this is D6 for 6. That will evaporate him. So they level the Fusion Blaster. And Tigurius falls. Devilfish fired into the Victrix Honor Guard. No damage done over there. Leaves us with just Brave Stand, who is out of range of the Honor Guard. So he's going to fire into the Tech Marine. We're going to go ahead and start with the Plasma Rifle. Does hit. And it's strength 8, so wounds on a 3 or a 2. Does wound. AP -4. Does he have an invulnerable save?
He does not have an invulnerable save, but he does have a 2-up armor save.
Okay, and it'll be -1, so a 5-up save.
5-up save, does not save.
It's
damage.
A flat 3.
Okay, so he's taken 3.
And then 6 missile pods. I'll spin my T'au Sept reroll. They all hit. And these are strength 7, so 3s to wound. 4 wounds at AP -2, so AP -1 with Armor of Contempt.
So 4 3-ups. Failed 2, which will finish him.
Yeah, 2 damage apiece. Okay, so the Tech Marine and the characters in the center of the battlefield have been swept away by the T'au firepower. The T'au do score all 3 of their secondary objectives: battlefield supremacy, tempting target, and no prisoners are all scored this battle round. So that makes it 25 for T'au, 15 for the Ultramarines going into battle round 3. Calgar has shifted his focus. He's decided the assassination attempt is not worth it at this point. Still going for blood and guts and taking an objective held by the T'au. Both of those are possibly achievable this turn. And then deploy, teleport home, or maybe an evacuation plan is underway. We are in the command phase for the Ultramarines. They did get 5 points for the primaries, holding their home objective. I do have some objective secured guys over here holding that one, even though they're on it. But we have come to the orbital bombardment. So both my Fire Warriors and my Stealth team are within range. The Fire Warriors are within the deadly 3-inch range. So who would you like to obliterate first?
Let's start with the Stealth team.
Okay.
So they don't get any modifier to this. On a 2 through 5, we're looking at D3 mortal wounds, and on a 6, we're looking for D6.
D6.
So that is going to be D3 mortal wounds for the Stealth team. And that is going to be 2.
So that will kill a stealth suit.
And then we will roll for this team, and we're looking for a 5 or better for D6.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets bumped up
to a 2.
D3.
So D3.
So three mortal wounds to them.
3 fire warriors and a stealth suit are taken out. We're all the way to the fight phase, actually, with the Ultramarines. The guys back here, they did shift up. They were able to fire and killed 4 of the fire warriors. Then in our charge phase, both Calgar made it into the Devilfish and the Victrix Honor Guard made it into the fire warriors. We want to kick off the charges with Calgar going into the Devilfish. And he's got some Fists of Ultramar. Is that what they're called?
Yes.
All right.
Fists of Ultramar.
Got it.
Or the gauntlets.
Gauntlets of Ultramar. Okay, a little fancier term for them.
Yes. So he gets 6 attacks base. He hits on 2s and is granting himself reroll.
Sweet.
So looking for 2s and rerolling 1.
He got them all. Oh, that was 1. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Got them all now.
Yes.
And
so those are strength 8.
So 3s to wound, the toughness 7, Devilfish.
Looking for 3s to wound. All wound.
All wound, AP.
AP on the gauntlets is -3.
-3. So these are 6 up saves for the Devilfish. For the greater good. I saved 2. How much damage are they?
They are D3 apiece, but I just realized as a Space Marine.
Oh, you charge, yeah, roll another one.
So that's another hit.
And another 3.
Yes.
Okay, another 6 is required.
Yes.
Which I don't make. So that's 5 failed, so 5 D3?
5 D3.
Okay, you do have a chance to blow it up with these. Oh, that looks juicy. That's
3,
9.
3, 3 is 9. 1 and 2 is 12.
12. I think he has 13 wounds. Let me double check that.
Sure.
So he does have 13 wounds, so we're spending a command point to reroll the one that went through with 1 damage. And that's it. So it does die. Does it explode, actually? Does not explode. Okay, so Calgar jumps over the pipe, slams the gauntlets of Ultramar down, and the Devilfish crashes and explodes in the distance. Victrix Honor Guard now. They base attack of 4, so they each have 5, so 10 attacks coming into the Fire Warriors, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. Not looking good for the Fire Warriors. That is all hits.
Yep.
Okay. What's the strength on these?
Strength on these is 5.
Okay, so 3s to wound. Ooh, I see a few 2s, 4 2s.
And a 1.
And a 1. Okay, so
I've
that's...
already used my reroll.
So that is 5. What's the AP, though?
The AP is -3.
Okay, so that kills 5. There's 1 heroic Fire Warrior left to fight back. The Fire Warrior fought back. No damage was done. But now I do have morale checks on both him and these guys down here. We'll start with them. They only fail on a 6 because they lost 3 guys. That's a 6. On 1s and 2s, the other guys run. Okay, so the 2 guys remain. And then on this guy up here, a 1 succeeds. Otherwise, he flees. He flees. Okay, so the Fire Warrior up here is taken, which will give you a tempting target, I think is what it was. Yeah. So you get that objective for 5 points. I'm sorry, Storm Hostile Objective. Yeah, it's the other one, the one where you had to take one that I was on at the beginning. So you get 5 points for that. And these guys are also failed, but there's still 2 guys down here on this objective. We'll go on to T'au, turn 3. Brave Stand has issued his new orders. We need to get behind the enemy lines, get into their deployment zone with 2 or more units. Raise a banner, that is, do this action on an objective I control in No Man's Land. I do have 2 Fire Warriors sitting on an objective in No Man's Land. And then secure No Man's Land, hold 2 or more objectives in No Man's Land. I think we can get at least 2 of these. Movement is done for T'au Sept. Starting in the back, our Cadre Fireblade did shift forward a little bit. He can't see anything otherwise. He still can't actually see anything, but moving up just in case. The tank ace shifted around to get a little bit further away from those gauntlets of Ultramar. Pathfinders stayed still, fired their marker lights. We got 5 hits on the Victrix Honor Guard and 1 hit on Calgar. Stealth teams both moved forward into the center of the battlefield. I was not able to roll. I actually rolled a 6 on the advance of the 2 guys, but they still couldn't get wholly within the Ultramarines deployment zone, so they just shifted forward into some cover. Maybe they can get there next turn. The Fire Warriors back here, they jumped back over that, and they are raising some banners on that objective there. And Brave Stand shifted up to get some cover behind the pipe because he could not keep up with the big advance of the Riptide as it jumped into the Ultramarines deployment zone. But that is our movement and marker lights concluded. Let's do some shooting. Everything in Commander Brave Stan's force has fired in, except one thing. But after the smoke clears, Calgar is exposed, and our tank ace levels his railgun. Firing in, there is a command or a marker light on him, so these hit on 2s, or this one shot will hit on a 2. It does hit. Wounds on a 2. It does wound, so minimum. So it's D3 plus 6 plus 3.
And he halves damage.
Oh, he halves damage?
Yes.
Oh, that's right, that's right. Okay, so the D3 plus 6 is 9, which is halved. So 5, because it rounds up, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then 3 mortal wounds.
Which is exactly what you would have needed.
Yes.
If you had rolled 1 less point of damage, you would have lived.
Okay, so Calgar, the rail rifle fires in, and just at the last moment he teleports off the battlefield. With Calgar departing the battlefield, the remaining intercessors have retreated, leaving the field in control of Sunars and Brave Stand. The T'au Sept has moved in to claim this territory from the Ultramarines and press on their advantage in the system. We'll come back with a recap. Conclusion of the battle. I think it was actually really close on points until the overwhelming firepower of the Tau did eliminate most of the Ultramarine threats there. It really came down to, and a lot of these rolls weren't on screen, but Ultramarine wound rolls in turns 1 and 2 were pretty subpar. Yeah. Definitely below statistical averages.
Yeah.
Really, really hurt because you were not able to cripple any of my firepower early.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it left with the Riptide and the tank ace both at full firepower on turn 2, able to then knock out the Dreadnought. It really put the Ultramarines in a tough spot. They didn't have a great answer to the troops and stuff in the middle of the field. How do you think it went?
I think that's pretty accurate. Basically, the deciding factor was going to be whose firepower took out the other person's firepower.
Yes.
And it's a dice game. Sometimes the dice are with you, sometimes the dice are against you, and you know what? That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish we could have seen a little more play from some of the heavier hitters. But yeah, you're right. The score was very close, and until just the attrition started to favor you, and then things just started to kind of collapse into place.
Yeah. Because the Vindicator actually got 3 wounds in, which would have been 18 damage to the Riptide, but I made 2 of my 4 open vulnerable saves and then re-rolled the other one and saved it. That was a big swing too. If I would have failed, even 2 of those rolls, I wouldn't have died, but I would have been at least crippled. My movement and everything would have been reduced. I could have spent some command points to get him back to his top profile, but good chance I would have failed my overcharge, which would have reduced my number of shots from 18 to 12 coming in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really came down to who got to blow up whose anti-armor first. And
the range.
72 inches. Because that was the other thing. I redeployed him out of the range of your tank. Even at your deployment zone edge, moving forward its full movement, it was still the tank. I put him all the way on the back edge there. He was out of range, so he could just sit there and fire indiscriminately and force you to move closer to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, range, ignoring invulnerable saves. And we were talking about that as well, and I mean, it's been discussed endlessly online, the railgun itself. I'm biased because I'm a Tau player. I think it's relatively balanced in the sense that you get 1 shot, you have a very high chance to hit, especially if you're running Long Strike, who has the extra ballistic skill and stuff like that. But if it does hit, it's most likely going to do damage. You don't have to rely on the randomness of a D6 for damage and things like that. But he shoots one thing and it's gone. And if there's no armor on the battlefield, he's not that effective. I'd spend command points on a stratagem for submunitions, but very cool. Anyway, this was your first Tempest of War. How do you think it went?
I really like Tempest of War.
Yeah.
I may have to pick up a deck of those myself. It really provides kind of a nice variety to the game. Keeps it fresh without doing anything that's too wacky.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Open War, there's some stuff that really our last game, I think we both had Shooty Armies Tau versus Ultramarines again, and we drew the one where it's like you can't shoot past 18 inches, and we both had Shooty Armies, so it it was interesting. But yeah, the Tempest of War, I think it's great. It's awesome. I've said that every time I've played with them. But again, thanks for coming down and playing. It was a great game. I really enjoyed it. Your Ultramarines are beautiful.
Thank you.
They are always more than welcome to come down here and challenge whatever I've got, whether it's Tau or maybe some Tyranids in the future. Ultramarines hate Tyranids, so that's a good future matchup. But again, thank you all for your support over this last year at Slider Games. We really appreciate it. If you would like to subscribe, like, comment, all those good things, help me out. And we thank you again for watching, and as always, have fun.